and then it will happen. Willkommen, bienvenue. Welcome once again to another Whiteboard Wednesday. And actually, before we go any further, Richard, would you explain exactly what is Whiteboard Wednesday?
Okay, so my idea behind Whiteboard Wednesday is to take. I've been in the security and risk management business for 20 years. Okay, either as a practitioner or as somebody who trains, and I train for a number of organizations. Currently writing stuff for the Home Office. So I've got a lot of experience in this. And what I'm doing is I'm taking that 20 years of knowledge, I'm putting it into, it's micro-learning, bite-sized chunks. So instead of doing a course over days, a 5-day course, I'm taking the important parts of the learning process and putting them into bite-sized chunks. Now, the reason it's Whiteboard Wednesday is because I believe in concurrent activity. So what it's designed to do is that you can do two things. You can have a cup of coffee, you can have your lunch, and you can listen to me going on about risk management things. So that's my idea behind Whiteboards Wednesdays, because we're always busy. So why not have some concurrent activity?
It's a very good idea, actually. Something that goes on while we're doing other things means that we can both be learning and earning. Always a good way forward.
Yeah, I mean, what I'm doing with this is that members of the Security Institute can also get professional development points for this. And if you go to the email, I will talk about it afterwards. But you get lots of things. You get lots of
things. Right. And today, bring us up to speed about what we're doing today.
All right. So we're on the third one. Okay, we're on the third Whiteboard Wednesday, and this one is they're all important. But this one covers one of the core pillars of risk management, which is the threat, okay? And we're going to look at what the threat is, how we can identify it, because if it's a critical skill for risk managers to be able to identify the relevant threats that their organizations face, because you need to be able to protect the assets, the things of value to your organization. So therefore, you need to be able to identify what those assets are up against. Without that knowledge, I would say that you are on the back foot and you're going to have a very difficult time in making sure that your organization can stay secure.
Well, so I believe you've got something prepared for us.
Yeah. Okay. So again, what we're going to do now, we're going to look at it. And so get yourself comfortable, get your headphones on if you wear them, get yourself a brew, and let's have a look at the threat. Let's start with a bit of revision from Whiteboard Wednesday 1, where we looked into the various definitions within the field of security risk management. Definition of threat: an event or action that can harm an organization's assets or operations. They often involve malicious intent. Somebody wants to do you harm. Threats can be broadly categorized into generic or specific. Generic is a generalized threat that applies across organizations, industries, or geographical areas. Terrorism is an example of a generic threat. Specific threats are targeted against an organization because of who they are, where they are, what they do, and who they interact with. Now, in order to be able to identify threats, we have to understand their nature. They are dynamic and evolving, not static at all. They change with technology, social trends, criminal methods, and geopolitical shifts. They come in a variety of forms that include both internal and external actors. Now, although in the security industry we tend to focus on intentional acts, we also need to be aware of more natural things, more natural events such as flooding, fire, and natural disasters. They also provide threats to our organization. And we also have to be aware of the threat profiles of our adversaries, those individuals who wish to do us harm. We need to know who they are, what they're capable of, what their intent is, and identify their attack history, what they've done previously. Okay, so enough of the theory. I now want to give you something, a management tool that I've designed that will allow you to be able to collect the necessary information on the threats within your operational environment. Now, I like mnemonics, always have done. I can still remember some that I was given in the military a long, long time ago. They really stick in your head. So as an aid memoir, I've designed AVPO, a mnemonic for use when thinking about specific threats to your organization or location. Smart, tactical tool that reflects real-world thinking in threat identification. Ideal for embedding within your wider security risk management framework, and would work well with checklists, open source intelligence scanning, tabletop exercises, or even physical security planning. So let's have a look at it. A, associations with VIPs, other organizations, partnerships, affiliations with controversial groups or government bodies. V is for venue, size, footfall, capacity, layout, exits, permanent site or temporary event. Visitors, who's going to come? Sponsors, VIPs, third-party vendors, contractors. You need to know. P is for proximity to government buildings, embassies, protest hotspots, critical infrastructure, locations that have been attacked previously. And finally, O, operational activity, is anything that you do contentious. Animal testing, political lobbying, fossil fuels, contract and investment. Operational activity is anything you do contentious. Animal testing, political lobbying, fossil fuels, defense contracting. Investment, who would have thought that car dealerships would be being attacked? AVPO is more of a use as identifying threats at the micro level. Other tools that can be used for broader threat picture are PESTLE and SWOT. I'm not going to go into those today, but I will do if you want to in a later show. When we're collecting information, there are a number of different sources, ways that we can do it. Historical incident reports, things that have happened previously and been logged, been recorded. Now, incident reporting and recording is a vital part of the security risk management process. We're going to cover this in far more detail in another episode because it is really important. Open source intelligence gathering. The list for this is huge and includes social media, news, search engine, forums, public records, etc., etc. Just knock yourself out on that. Another one is crime mapping, using crime stats that are readily available. Excellent source that can be often geofenced, really drilled down to your particular area. Will allow you to identify crimes that are happening in your immediate vicinity. Always best to use a number of different sources, however, and I think you'll find the list that is on the screen very useful. Now, we identify threats and we calculate risks. Threat identification goes hand in glove with being situationally aware. Another topic that we're going to cover in depth in another episode. With the threats identified, we can then look at the next stage of the risk management process in deciding whether the assets, the important things to our organization, are vulnerable to them. We carry out a vulnerability assessment, something again which I will explain in more detail in another episode. So, in conclusion, threat analysis is essential because it helps organizations identify, understand any potential dangers before they actually cause harm. It ensures that security efforts are focused, proactive, and effective, forming a very, very good foundation for a sound risk management strategy.
That was excellent. I'm really pleased you managed to get through that. So
yeah. Okay. Yeah. So again, with this, for people looking into this, what I'm trying to do is to build a catalog. I'll build a resource for you. So what I'm going to do within my website is produce a library of documents that I provided, because I'm very much focused on the security and risk management side of it. I was a practitioner, and I'm always looking for tools, things to help me. Although I've done my 8 years of academia, academics like to talk about stuff. A practitioner likes to do it. Sorry. So I'll be putting on. So make sure, guys, that you go onto the website. You put your email in there, because I promise next week. I've been really busy, but next week we'll be getting our first newsletter out there, and it will have the links for all the various YouTube videos and a lot of other bits and pieces on there. I'll also be putting in the email address if you want to get your certificate, your CPD certificates. Security Institute, brilliant institution. I've been a member for years. I highly recommend it. And we're just going to build a community, and we're just going to go forward. How does that sound, Gareth?
Actually really useful. I think for anyone who's either fully up to their waist in this and wants to make this, and it's what is already their career, but they just want to nail everything down flat, this is an excellent way forward. But for people who are at the beginning of their security career, this could really give them the boost they need, because it's got all the basic structures in place. And I ask all of you, please make sure that you stick with this, because over time, Richard's really going to unveil some topics and ideas that you might not have thought about.
Absolutely. I mean, I get paid to do this. I get paid to train these courses, and I just want to help people who are starting off, and it's revision for others. So just get involved. If you've got questions, send them. Put them in the chat. I'll get back to you. Link up on LinkedIn. Absolutely. Let's talk.
All right. Well, until next time, thank you so much, Richard. I'm looking forward to the next one already. And to all of you watching, this is an overall ongoing course. It isn't a full replacement for a full course with Richard, but it will certainly give you the basics and hopefully whet your appetite. Until next week, keep your feet on the ground, keep reaching for the stars, and let's stick with the course. Until next time, goodbye.